It's time to feel what you've been bottling up. Life in rural America isn't easy. The long hours, the constant pressures, the demands of the land, livestock, and family, it all takes a toll. We're tough and we've got grit, but somewhere along the way, toughness started meaning bottling up emotions and powering through. But here's the truth. That strategy, it's not working and it's poisoning us. Maybe you've noticed and maybe you haven't, but the numbers don't lie. We're breaking down and it's showing up in our bodies, our relationships, and in the rising suicide rates in agriculture. You don't have to carry any of it alone. There's another way. If you're ready to stop being weighed down and start moving forward, my one-on-one Good Movement guidance is now open. Visit the link in the show notes to learn more and see if one-on-one guidance could be for you.
I'll carry you, you carry me, we'll help each other through it. Come on and say Good Movement draws good movement.
Welcome to Good Movement Draws Good Movement, the podcast where farmers, ranchers, and rural folks can grow relationally through awareness, understanding, and effective communication. Hey, it's T. I'm your host, and I, along with my guests, will be covering topics related to drawing good movement. Things like self and social awareness, brain science, positive psychology, extending grace, and so much more. We'll share tools that can help you understand why you are the way you are, why others are the way they are, and how you can use that to step out of self-told lies with grace and compassion to draw good movement in conversations, relationships, and life in rural America. Let's go draw good movement. Welcome back to the Good Movement Draws Good Movement podcast. Today, we are talking about something that was inspired by recent events, as is my MO on this podcast. But that thing is community and connection. And I've heard more times than I can count on, for sure, one hand and probably both my hands, something to the effect of, well, it was my burden to bear and it was my cross to carry and it's just my stuff. So I didn't want to open up and share it with other people and put that on them. And I want to remind you and or tell you for the first time, we are not meant to bear our crosses alone. We can't and we shouldn't. And if you don't believe me, we can take a look at Genesis, where God creates the world and he creates humans, Adam, for connection, relationship with him. Then he looks down at Adam and he sees that he's good. And he says, you know what? I'm paraphrasing here, so just bear with me. You know what? He needs a partner. So he creates Eve so that Adam has a partner. He's not alone. We literally need connection to help us along our way in this life. And trying to bear our crosses alone, you know what that does? That eventually breaks us. And not just mentally and emotionally, but eventually all of that weight manifests into physical ailments. We're not meant to bear all of the things alone. We're just not meant to. And this reminds me of a fun little story from back in my college days. And if you listened to episode 40 with Sheila, you know that she is my bestie. And we rented an apartment in college. And at Christmas time, we decided to go down to the Walmart and get us a Christmas tree. We went with an artificial tree. And since our apartment was small, we went with a 3-foot tree, not even pre-lit. It was just a 3-foot little artificial tree, and it was pretty light. And we got a really good chuckle out of the box because this box, in big bold letters, with even like a little diagram showing us how to do it, said Team Lift. If we're supposed to team lift on something as light as a teeny tiny 3-foot artificial Christmas tree, we're certainly meant to team lift on the heavier things in our lives. The grief, the sadness, the anger, the big and little t traumas. We're not meant to carry all those things alone. And so I want to encourage you in this podcast episode to reach out, to your community, to those you're connected with, and talk to those people because they, believe it or not, humans are not mind readers. We might suspect something's going on. We might even think we know, but we don't know the full story unless you tell us. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're trying to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get back on that buckskin and all the other things that we're told in life that lead us to believe that we're supposed to do this on our own, be strong, toughen up, rub a little dirt in it. If you're trying to do all those things, I just want to encourage you and remind you that you're not meant to do it alone and to reach out to your people and tell them what's going on. Because even though that 3-foot little lightweight Christmas tree wasn't that heavy, it sure as hell is a lot easier to lift those things in life when you do have someone to help you. And that goes for, the actual physically heavy things in life, as well as the heavy mental and emotional stuff that we go through in life. And we're going to go through that stuff because we're humans and we can't walk through this life without being affected by the stuff. And so today, if you're someone who is trying to bear all the weight on your own, if you have sent or typed up a message to a friend to reach out and you've deleted it, if you think that you have to walk through this life all on your own and you cannot share with others because you don't want to be a burden with them, I want to encourage you that not only can you not carry that without some repercussions, ramifications, consequences in your mental, emotional, and physical well-being, you shouldn't. There are people who are willing to sit with you, listen, help you, do all the things so that you don't have to bear that weight alone. And if you don't think that you have anyone like that in your life, please hop on over to Instagram and shoot me a DM or go to the show notes and send me an email because I would be happy to help you team lift on whatever weight it is that you're bearing today. And with that, until next time, draw good movement. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you. If you found value in this episode, I'd love for you to share with others who might also benefit from tuning in. Share by word of mouth, send it in a text, take a screenshot and post it on social media, or share however you prefer. And if you haven't already, hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Until next time, draw good movement.